Welcome to Big Tipping. This morning we're going to be working on this Bobcat 322. This thing's vintage at best. So guy claimed that it just had a busted hose and he parked it about 5 years ago. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a quick little wash, add a little fluid to it, throw a battery in it. We'll check the fluids. We'll see what kind of action we get, see if it runs, see if we got any kind of leak like he was talking about. Because look down in here, I mean, it's dirty, but I don't see anywhere where it looked like it was leaking. But if it's been sitting there for that 5 years, you know, it'd be hard to tell. So I'll give this thing a quick wash and see what it's looking like. So we got our initial wash finished here. We're gonna go ahead and pull this old battery out. This thing cleaned up pretty decent for as old as it is. We'll get this battery out, throw a little fluid in it, try to crank it up, see what happens. And probably here in just a little bit I may show you guys a little trick on getting some of this old rust off of this white paint. You'd be amazed what it'll do. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so I got a battery in this thing, key switch. The guy told me it's been sitting 5 or 6 years. Fuel looked okay in it, so I went ahead and fired it up on the fuel that was in it. Thing fired right up. So I got to messing with the controls, and we got a leak somewhere right in here. Looks like it's probably coming from a steel line, which may be an issue, but we'll get there. So then it has a pull kill on it. It wasn't working, so I ended up having to use that little 2x4 over there and stick it over the intake to get it to shut down. But now I'm going to do a little restoration work here, or what I call restoration. We're going to take this oxidation off of here with the good old oven cleaner. This is Dollar General brand. It's the cheapest, so that's what we're going with. Go ahead and give this thing a little shake down. You see how it is now, and I'm going to go ahead and put a nice coat on it. I'll hit all this and do a little before and after here. Just give this thing a good spray down on the whole machine. You'll be amazed what this shit will do to some oxidation. But you gotta be careful. You leave it on here too long, it will eat your paint. Just a fair warning. I've had some experiences with that. Be careful breathing this stuff in too, because it is rough. Now, I don't want to leave it sitting too long, so I'm going to set the camera down a minute and go ahead and start rinsing a little bit on this side, and you'll get to see here how she's doing. about to give this thing a little douse down, see how our first coat did here on the oven cleaner. Oh boy, she's a working like a charm. That's how you want to see it coming off right there. So like I said, just be mindful of how long you leave that shit on there, because it will eat your paint. But as you can see, it does a hell of a good job taking that oxidation off the paint. If you can't tell, this is pretty extremely satisfying with the difference this shit makes. And like I said, it will take some of the paint off, so if you really care about the paint on your equipment, this probably isn't the best route, but I'm just fixing this stuff to make a few dollars, so we're not going to worry too much about a few little chips of paint here and there. But I mean, you can just see it peel that stuff right on off of there, just how we want it to. So that's going to be my demonstration of using oven cleaner to clean an old rusty, ugly looking piece of equipment. I'll do another little sample on the boom here in a minute. So I just got done washing off my first coat, and as you can see, this thing is mighty white now. So it's a nice little trick if you want a budget way to clean some old equipment that's been sitting outside a lot. That'll do the trick, especially if you're trying to clean it up before you're going to paint it. But obviously you're going to want to wash it and do a few other steps before you get into painting something. So let's take a quick look at this, how this boom looks right now. We're going to go ahead and shoot some oven cleaner on this boom, see how bright we can make it. It's definitely going to make a difference here. So we'll go ahead and do an application and see what it does. All right, so we got a coat on here. Go ahead and give her the rinse. boom, have it. Oh boy, she's coming out pretty. So we like to see. Well, and that's how I get my my old rusty looking equipment clean. So Make sure to subscribe. Big tipping.